Welcome to another rainy day in New England. Although it's getting bright, I think the sun is trying to come out, but still raining at the moment, so we're in the greenhouse. I'm realizing, based on the last video's comments, that I have failed to give you guys a life and work update. I just got so excited about the garden, that's all I want to talk about. So my apologies. We're going to do some life and work updates today while I plant up some flowers. I've got this batch of beauties that I'm just in love with, but these are expensive from the nursery. This year's garden focus is utility over beauty. Even though we are trying to encourage all of the pollinators here, the large focus of my seed starting this year was vegetables. But Bob actually had a ton of old flower seed packets. And I mean, these are old. Some of them, this one's 2011, 2012. I mean, like solidly over a decade old. So I don't really think that they're going to do much. This one, 2016, 2010. Yeah. You know, it's going to be hit or miss. So I'm just going to dump the entire packet into little pots. This is a strawberry blister pack that I just made into a grow pot since it already had drainage holes. And I'm also going to start some marigolds. Some of the marigolds in my garden some of the blooms have already died. And so I just took one and brought it inside, let it dry out. And now that it's dry, you can just pull seeds out and replant. This is my first year getting back into gardening and my first year here on this property, trying to do a homestead and trying to do it on a budget. So I had a homestead budget of about $1,500 that I had saved up prior to the start of the season, and I've already spent about $1,000 of it just on, but on seeds and flowers and some bagged soil and what else, like random things like this greenhouse plastic to make this makeshift greenhouse for this year. You know, things just add up. So I'm quickly running out of budget and I don't want to spend any more than that. So I'm just being really selective on what I am going to spend money on going forward. But for now, there's no point in wasting all of these old seeds. None of them may germinate, but it's at least worth giving them a shot. And as for the marigolds, of course, those are very much a friend all over the garden and you want those everywhere. So I'm hoping I can start a few more. Bob actually had 2 packets of forget-me-nots. So I'm hoping some of these will come up. These apparently can grow in some pretty wet soil conditions, which we have here on the side of a mountain. The bank along the edge of the property has water coming out of it at all times. And so it's going to be selective things that can grow there, but I'm hoping some of these will germinate, and I'm hoping they will therefore like living in the bank after that. But yeah, speaking of my budget, I'm still very much operating on a budget, even though I'm not talking about it all the time anymore. Like we've discussed, I'm just incredibly burnt out on being on a debt-free journey and being just constantly thinking about, strategizing about money. It's like I'm just over it. But that doesn't mean I've just like completely let it go and just money is no thing anymore. No, obviously. With this new like low work lifestyle, I want to maintain that. And the only way to maintain that is to continue living on this budget that I've been living on for years now. And keeping my lifestyle low cost and doing what I can to save money. And like some of you said, my local library, they did have a little basket on the counter at the book checkout counter where they had an assortment of seeds that you could, give some, take some, whatever you want to do. I haven't done that in the last few weeks because the comment on the last video just reminded me about that. But yeah, that is definitely an option too if you're looking for some free seeds. The library here, I think, had both veggies and flowers, which is fun. Once the homestead budget is gone, it is gone. And replenishing my homestead sinking fund is just not the priority. Since work has been low for the last year, work's been slow, so money's been tight. And since I work offshore on fishing boats, things are slim in the wintertime as well. And right now, there has been storms and just crazy winds. You know, I've only gotten one sea day so far this month just because the weather has been absolute junk. But after this long weekend coming up, which we've got Memorial Day weekend here in the US, where it's still going to be a cold and dreary, rainy weekend all weekend, which stinks. Bob and I are going up to Maine to visit with both of our families. So that is exciting. And then after the long weekend, it's supposed to warm up again and be sunny and give us a reprieve from all of this water. So I know after this weekend, the plants should start getting happy again. So work has been slow, but I know since it's going to be warm next week, I'm already expecting that I'm going to get at least one, but probably 2 sea days the first week of June. My supervisor has already asked me ahead of time, I guess, if I could take more sea days in June. She asked if I would be okay with doing a couple sea days per week through June, and I said yes. Given the nature of my job, that's just, I know the summer months are going to be busier because the weather's nicer, and I don't want to be offshore when it's crappy out either because I get seasick. But since I've been on a jet-free journey for 9 years, budgeting and thinking about money, even though I don't want to proactively be doing that and talking about it all the time, it's still an ingrained habit at this point to be frugal and mindful of how much I'm spending, how much is coming in and going out. It's like, I've been operating on the same budget for so many years that my lifestyle is basically just on autopilot at this point. So I only need a few sea days per month to sustain my normal monthly bills because I purposefully keep them low. But getting more in June, if all goes well, that should mean I'll be able to replenish my sinking funds that dwindled over the winter and, you know, invest more in my 401k and my Roth and my HSA and, you know, all of the other financial goals that I still have for this year. I just have not been able to do it yet this calendar year because it's been the winter up here. So I know more work is coming, more money is coming in. So that's the update on work. I didn't quit or anything like that. And then the rental property was the other thing. That is still listed for sale. The showing requests for it have been slow, and I've only gotten a couple like lowball cash offers so far. And yeah, so it's just not gone as well as one would hope, certainly, but kind of given the bit of a dumpster fire that the US economy is right now, it's not necessarily surprising to me that people are being cautious with their money, and like extraneous investing has probably dwindled. And like that's as far as I ever want to comment on that kind of thing. But I'm just kind of talking through the rental property situation because it has been slow, and that sucks because it does cost me money every month. Obviously, the mortgage. Not that it's bad. I mean, the mortgage is $290 a month now, and that's with taxes and insurance escrowed in. And the utilities are costing about $150 a month, even though it's sitting there vacant. Those are just the minimums or whatever the heat's been on. The weather's been crazy in the Midwest as well, I think. So the house is drawing down its account, but it is what it is. I'm not stressing or panicking about it. It's going to be fine. But there, got all of these flower seeds in some dirt, emptied. Hopefully some things sprout. What's really cool is I planted last week or the week before, I planted all of our old vegetable seeds. So all of the veggies that were a decade-ish old from the last time I had a garden. And most of them did nothing as expected. But what shocked me is these Brandywine tomatoes. Brandywine tomatoes are probably my favorite heirloom variety. But they're a bit finicky and temperamental. But I gotta say, they are probably the last thing that I expected any of these seeds to sprout from, because these seeds were probably 2010. So 15 years old at this point. And I'm in awe. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 plus seedlings that have either pushed up or are pushing up in this container, which is crazy. That is way more tomatoes than anyone could ever eat. If I had known that the seeds would still be this viable, obviously I would not have planted them all. But I'll let a few of these go to maturity just so that I can have some. But now I need to plan more space in the garden to put them because I've already kind of maxed out all of my garden bed space for this year. But we'll figure it out because these are my favorite. And if the seeds are this much of a survivor, then I'm absolutely going to save seeds from any fruits that I get because dang, that's super exciting. So that's like free money and free money down the road. If I can get any fruits from that and can save the seeds, that's more tomato seeds for next year that I don't have to buy. And of course, that is my plan. I think I've said it 100 times now, so I apologize. But anything that does well this year, I will save seeds from for next year because I've spent probably a few $100s, maybe more, on seeds. And I just don't want to have to spend that much year over year. I'm sure next year there will be more things I want to add in that I won't have seeds from, but at least I won't be starting from square one with everything. And this is an old buttercup. These seeds were probably from 2010 as well, but at least one is pushing up through the soil right now, which is so cool. Otherwise, these tomatoes look so good this second round of planting. The Cherokee purples from the first round that didn't get stunted, they look great, and I'm very happy about that. But the new round of seedlings from this last planting look really good as well. So I'm going to give everything a nice watering in and a good water before we leave for the weekend. If you're in the US and get the weekend off, I hope you enjoy a long Memorial Day weekend. I will see you guys next week when hopefully the weather is a little bit nicer.